twice.
Okay. This is gonna be an awesome story.
You know,
It's 47 pages
Got a
long.
level 36 shiny Pidgeot now.
Nice.
Oh yeah? Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Look at
I don't
it.
believe you.
I don't know where it went.
Loses it in an instant.
Look at that.
I got a shiny Bulbasaur apparently. Even though it doesn't look
I
shiny.
have 2 level 30 Pidgeots now.
Oh, you guys are downstairs.
Yeah.
You should sell the other Pidgeot.
I named it
Hide,
Pidge.
hide, hide. He's coming.
I'm gonna hide in this. I'm gonna hide behind my Pidgeot. I don't know where. Oh,
You were killing it.
there you go. I'm hiding behind. I'm out here.
I don't see nobody. I don't know. It's just perfectly normal. I mean,
So okay, I found out how you got all those eggs yesterday. By the way,
Oh.
when you're in Johto, if you go to Professor what's his name, what's his face's lab, there's this little sign you click and
Oh,
it
the
gives you
egg
5
lock?
eggs.
no, you have to
Yeah.
beat the Johto region first.
Well, I got the eggs and I didn't beat the Johto region.
Yeah,
Really?
same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
I got. I don't know. I need a.
Hide.
Oh,
Can't
shit.
I
tell the
am.
story if no one's there.
No, I gotta go check this out. Hold up. Hey, get this get Dragonite out of my way.
People,
People,
who has a Dragonite?
people at spawn, I will murder these
Oh.
guys.
No, come back. Come back.
Billy, I need somewhere to put my stuff.
Come back.
Oh,
I got a lot of stuff, man.
You'll never find us.
if it does, I'm gonna tell Gravy just to let him know.
Hold up, I'm gonna set my phone on my shift key, so there we go.
Is it only in the Johto? I mean, I know it doesn't work in the other one.
Yeah, it's in the Johto. You can do it in the Johto.
Oh shit, I did. They all got sent to my PC though.
Yeah, I also got the Togepi egg.
Wait, how
But
many
that
more
one's
can
not
we
too-
do?
It's like one every like 13 days if I'm right. That would suck if I fell down this hole. I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, well, you guys wanna read the story? Hear the story now?
Yeah.
Okay, it's I can't explain it. It's a book. Okay.
Crouch.
Okay. Now, I want you to try not to laugh as much as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, keep
Okay.
a straight face, he said.
I'm not able to do
Chapter
that,
1, Phoenix's Life. Today I was at a party. The music changed to a slow dance. Everybody grabbed a partner, and I was left on the dance floor alone. Suddenly, this guy walks up to me. I swear, I was gay for a few seconds. He came to me and whispered in my ear, "Hold my drink." He left to go dance with my gay friend Ed. Ed was a big man, quote unquote big. I was still alone later that night. I went home crying to my dog Frou Frou. He is the only one who loves me. Not even my mom will talk to me. P.S. She is a whore, and my dad was a Rolling Stone. My dad, even though the only thing I knew about my dad was he was in a mariachi band. The next day, I went to work at the coffee shop, and some dude had the nerve to yell at me for not selling ketchup packets. I flipped out on him and went to Walmart and grabbed all the ketchup and threw it everywhere. The cops showed up and tasered me. I wake up not remembering anything, and it's not good waking up in jail not knowing what the hell happened. Good thing I was only in jail for 3 days, but in those 3 days I met some cool people. They had me try some jail sugar, quote unquote sugar. Although it made me very hyper, it made me feel very happy inside. I also got married to another inmate named John. John was a big burly gay guy that was in the jail, that was in the Navy, and he was in jail for repeatedly stabbing a kitten for stealing his quote unquote sugar. Before I got out, we had the best sex ever.
The fuck?
He will be getting out in jail in 10 years, but I have someone else who loves me now. And when I got out, I had to rush to my dog Frou Frou. Good thing he was still alive. He just got into the food bags and the toilet was out of water. But he was alive nonetheless. I also had to get a new job, so I went job searching. So I did some of that, and the best job I was able to find was at the Lovely Lady. It was a male strip club, but it paid good money, so I saved enough money to get a nice computer. My dream was to be a YouTuber. So after a few weeks of stripping, I met this female who walked in, and I was hooked. I gave her free lap dances. I found out her name was Nikki. I fell for her like a Pokemon fainted. We spent all of our time together, and technically I was married to John. I never told her about him. But one day she asked about marriage, so I told her. She took it well, I think. But she was, for some reason, turned on by it, and we had the weirdest sex I ever had in my life. And keep in mind, I fucked a dude while hyped up on sugar, quote unquote sugar. The next day I woke up and I got a letter from the jail saying John killed the warden of the jail. He'll be put down by the electric chair, and I was asked to visit during the process. My girlfriend Nikki wanted to come, but I didn't want John to know I moved on. So I went to the guard. Oh, the guards let us kiss one last time, and it was quick and silent. After, it looked like he was at peace. Later I went home and I proposed to Nikki. She said yes. Also, she told me she was pregnant. And it made me kind of happy after the death of my jail husband. The next 9 months, because I know what's going to happen. The next 9 months were hard, but worth it. I'll never forget the day her water broke. We were at the same Walmart. I went crazy, and we rushed to the nearest hospital. A few hours later, I was told it's a boy, and my wife called it John. I thought it was a fitting name. He looked like a John. And after she was ready to get a job, so I couldn't quit my job as a stripper, so John would never know about it for a long time. She landed a job as a lawyer. I never knew she was a lawyer once before. That's how me and her met. Her law firm fired her, and she wanted to end it by first going to the lovely lady and then jumping off a bridge, but I stopped her without knowing. It's crazy how fate works, but that's how life works. Fast forward 10 years, my son John got a Nobel Prize for curing a deadly disease known as Ebola. But little did we know, it actually mutated the disease and turned people into zombies. And the government took my son away to fix the problem, and then they sprayed this pink stuff everywhere. The town,
Nothing. Just continue.
pink stuff everywhere. The non-affected to stay in a safe. Oh, they told the non-affected to stay in a safe place. So I did. My wife didn't get the memo. She was killed on impact, and all the dead started to rise from the graves. I was glad my wife didn't get to see this horror of a sight. The first thing that ran through my mind was to get my son. He was most likely in a military base somewhere in Michigan, so I grabbed my family sword hanging above the mantle next to the talking fish. Man, how I hate that fucking thing. Anyways, the sword was light, thin, but powerful. I went outside my home, and I seen my neighbor Jeff and his family running at me with supersonic speed. I swung my sword and chopped his head off with one fell swoop, and the same with his family. I remembered to grab something before I left, so I ran in the house and grabbed a photo. The photo was of me and my family before Frou Frou passed away, and I ran into my car, and I found someone still alive on the way there. I knew I needed help, so I told him what I was on the way to do. And he was on
I'm sorry. You're just like, oh shit. Mistyped.
Yeah, it's all over the place, so I'm trying to like fix them as I go along. And he was on his way to the same place as I was. Because he thought that the government would have some good stuff supplies, little did I know he was famous. He said he was in a band and a part of a survival TV show, so it was good taking him along. Although there weren't many zombies, most of them just fell over dead, not finding much to eat. The only ones that were still alive were the big burly ones. I was worried to run into and ... And sure enough, we ran into the next one at the jail. It was John. I didn't think I had the strength to kill him, but my new friend Poe could. He had no connection to him that I knew of. After he asked why I couldn't do it, I said he was my jail husband. He laughed at me. And when I said, "What's so funny?" he said John was my son. He never talked to me after killing my cat. And he acted like it was no big deal, but I guess it's a small world after all. That day I wanted to know more about his life, and he asked me about mine. I showed him the picture of my family, and he told me about his past and his band. He told me how he was part of a mariachi band, and I told him about my father, thinking he would know him. He said he didn't know anybody like him. So he asked me about my son because I didn't mention him. But when he asked me if he was still alive, I said yes. I said he is the reason why I'm going to the base. He paused and said he is the young genius who caused all of this, but he didn't sound much mad about this, as I thought he would. I don't know why, but I still needed the help.
What page are you on?
27.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
After we crossed the Ohio border to Michigan, we took a nap at the nearest gas station. Every day, I don't know why, but he looked at me like he looked at John. I asked him to tell me about it. He said, "Well, you remind me of my son." I said, "John." He said, "No. My son before John. When I was in my band, I met a girl named Mika." I paused and said, "That's my mom's name." I thought John was my brother. I screamed, "I fucked my own brother." And he started laughing. He said, "Well, you're half brother." And I thought I knew why he was not mad when I told him my son John was the reason for all of this. How can he be mad at the only family he has? That's also why I didn't yell at him for leaving mom. So, when we got to the base, it was easy to get in. No guards on the outside, but we did get caught. They knocked us out and tested our blood, and were clean of the virus. And when young John was told that his dad and his grandpa was here, he never met his grandpa, but he was a bit confused. But when I told him the story of my past, he was shocked. I even told him all about his quote-unquote Uncle John and how he was named after him. He ended up dating the president's daughter and got her pregnant with Steve. A few years later, they had escape pods ready, but only for my son and his family. So I gave the book to my son to finish it. John's Life, Chapter 2. Okay. Before we left, we were told my dad was going to press the button to end the world, and he gave me the picture he said he grabbed before he left the house. As soon as we were at a safe distance away from the Earth, we saw the planet blow up and landed on a square-shaped planet, and we built a home there. Were Pokemon everywhere. My son Steve...
Fucking long enough.
My son Steve was 10 when he caught his first Rufflet. That's the Pokemon that falls into Bravier. The planet was also weird. It had plants that made you go back to the age of 18, but me and my wife wanted to pass on, so we left Steve on his 18th birthday. Left him a note saying, "You and I also left a book for him. Son, I hope you never give up eating on those fruits. We love you." Chapter 3, Steve's Life. Don't worry, it's on page 37. It's on page 39 out of 47. It's almost done.
This is a very long book.
I told you I spent 3 hours on it last night.
Yeah, you were barely half awake. Like, a lot of it's just jumping around. Jesus Christ.
Even though I never met my granddad. and my great-granddad. Their stories in this book what keeps me alive, although my father's note and my father's note. But in the book, I also found a photo that was left to my dad, and now onto me dates back to 2020, however long that is ago. After that day, I did the math with the age of my father and me. Now it's 2058. Me and my roughlet found a sack of some candies. I have no idea where they came from, so we snacked on them, and my Pokemon made a shiny light that got bigger, and he got bigger, and now he can talk. At first, I thought it was weird, but it was nice to talk to someone and not to a tree for once. And get a response back. I named him Phoenix after my granddad, and he likes his name. His wings were stronger, and I was able to fly on him. And we were surprised to find a city. It had lots of people in it, I guess. They were all astronauts that came to explore this planet back in the day, and it was a government secret. It was pretty cool. They had Pokemon battles, and Phoenix and I were undefeated in 1v1s. And we decided to try to be the best. We found out the 8 gym badges. We found out about the 8 gym badges and decided to win them all, but I just didn't want to settle down. I just wanted to settle down, so I met a girl in the city, and I had a baby boy with him, and I wanted to name him Jeff, but Phoenix wanted him to be named after Phoenix Wilbur, and my Pokemon son to go with him.
You're a fucking affairs dude, I swear.
It's on 44, hold up. So when his son turned 18, when my son turns 18, I will leave having his Pokemon to do the best Pokemon trainer in the world, and I will also leave my son this book and the photo. 18 years later, my son Phoenix is old enough to be the best he can be. Son, I love you, and I want to do what I could never. I want you to do what I could never do and be the best Pokemon trainer you can be. I wish there was more pages in the book for you to write in it, but I love you. Your mom Ash will keep you along the way. Bye, my son. Page 1646. Dad, I have fulfilled your dream. It's 2 pages left.
Okay.
Dad, I have fulfilled your dream. I am the best in the Kanto region. Whoever runs across this book shall know my family history and the fucked up stories behind it. And that me and my mom, Ash, are doing great. That end.
Motherfucker.
So, I got a Lucario from an egg.
Yeah, I noticed that.
and I also got a Ryulu, however the fuck you say it.
Oh, yeah, the one before, right?
So I got both of them. I'm like, yeah, man. But they're both level 1, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So, how'd you like my book?
I was really expecting that to turn to Dragon Ball Z at some point, but it never did.
I don't know how I turned into zombies.
Hold up,
I said
I'll
I had to
tell you.
flip this around somehow. Where's your book at? I'm gonna read your book really quick, Billy.
No, I'm reading my book.
Okay, here.
Fuck
You
you.
can read your book here.
I also gotta do. Yeah.
Okay, you ready
That's
for mine?
It's a random party. Go ahead, do it.
Alright. Book report due. 1/6/2015.
Oh dear God.
This gets really fucked up. It's only 3 pages long, though. Till this day, I have just now started with my Pokemon adventures. I've got my starter Pokemon that already is a
Oh my God.
Stomp. I spelled a lot of things wrong in here
You
too.
had some backwards.
When I started, I ran into a bear
A beer.
with a hat and sunglasses, and he ran around like Pedo Bear. And one day
One day you just
Yeah.
got quiet.
my headset decided
Really?
to cut out.
Oh.
Anyways, one day I ran into him and asked what was his name. When all of a sudden he KO'd me and took me to a base that he called the Aqua Team. By the way, the Aqua Team was what we were originally in, and then we are now here. Anyways, when I awoke, I seen him and stared. there he stand. There we go, motherfucker. So I asked again, and he replied with the name Phoenix, as he told me that I was going to be a part of the Team Aqua, and that I had to hail the sun gods or they would smite me down with their big... I can.
Let's do it.
With their big, juicy, and succulent large lightning bolt. The end.
Okay.
You remind me of that kid in class you don't want to read in class. That's what you reminded me of.
I really didn't want to read mine, but I was recording.
My speech impediment, though.
Okay.
You can't write.
episode 25.
I am dyslexic and I have a speech impediment.
No words describe me.